sick of boys in their little muscle shirts.
If I look like you, I'll be sick of it too.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive.
How are you gonna tell us what men are meant to be when you don't even want to be a man yourself?
Life's too short to exercise. I'm just gonna be honest. There are so many better things to do than exercise.
It's about when you do that and there's like muscles there, nobody cares about that.
We don't get muscles for you, we get muscles for the bitches. And with all due respect, we could give a single flying fuck whether you care or not.
It hurts me to see how corrupted you are.
You can cry. So it's okay to be weak.
It's okay to be weak, but it's not okay to stay weak. We are human beings, we all have our ups and downs. The universe gives us downs so we can experience highs. If you decide to stay down here, you're the one doing it to yourself.
It is okay to be fat.
You work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fatphobic.
What is even fatphobic, bro? Hey Siri, what is the definition of fatphobic? Okay, so fatphobic is the pathological fear of fatness. By that definition, I don't think there's anything wrong with being fatphobic, right? If you're afraid of being fat, I think that is a good thing. Because fat is unhealthy and it's easy to be fat. You sit there and stuff your face, which is why no one respects it. Whenever you see like a transformation video of someone from being really obese to healthy, you just see how their life improves, you see how their mood changes, they have a smile on their face, they feel good within themselves. So you're telling me people shouldn't be afraid to be big, unhealthy, and depressed. And listen, this is not me saying that I hate fat people. I don't hate anyone. I have love for everyone and I respect everyone until they prove otherwise. But I'm just saying, is it such a bad thing to be fatphobic though? To not be scared of putting on all this weight and having a heart attack? We are living in times now where people are shaming people for wanting to be healthy and going to the gym. Men are getting shamed for wanting to be masculine. Imagine if we shamed women for embracing their femininity. What kind of backwards logic is that? When all this shit hits the fan, the men are gonna be the ones to have to stand up and protect everyone. You have to protect their women, their family, their children. And say 100 years in the future, if they manage to turn every man into this, what we just saw, we're not gonna have no protectors. Because masculinity will be like this, non-existent. Y'all, if I ever get canceled for saying shit like this, make sure you follow me on Instagram, guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram to keep in touch with me.
Hey, got a text, but I'm busy, bitch. I ain't got the time, ain't no rolling on my wrist. She give me throat first night, now she wanna link. I told her that I'm sorry, I don't do relationships.
Can you rate me based on my voice from 1 to 10?
Yeah, you got a very nice voice, very sexy. 7.5, I would say.
What about now?
Well, I would say 5.5.
That's really bad.
It's a pass mark.
No?
Maybe when I see you when you wake up from your bed early in the morning without the makeup, that might make a lot of difference.
Stop! Okay.
You still look pretty, at least to your boyfriend.
She had a whole bag on her head and he rated her higher. And as soon as she took it off, she went down 2 points. That's crazy, bro. So this is an OG right here, man. He's used to women not wearing a lot of makeup. She probably has a cake face. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little makeup to like kind of enhance your features a little bit. But when you start like putting on this whole multiple layers and then you can just see the makeup. You can see the layers. I shouldn't be able to see that you have makeup on like that. Imagine me, a grown-ass man, sitting here ranting about makeup. Like, what am I doing with my life? Honestly, y'all, if you got a girl and she spends money on you here and there, that is a good girl, man. That is a keeper, because girls usually do not do that shit. The men are expected to put the money up and take care of the girl. But me personally, I would have a problem if she's the one taking care of me all the time. I won't let that fly, bro, because that will make me feel less of a man personally. You know what I'm saying? That will make me feel like a bitch.
We don't give a fuck! Jesus! We don't give a fuck!
Black men as a whole are failing.
Okay, are y'all seeing the same thing that I'm seeing right here? This has to be a joke. And she said black men are failing as a whole. I honestly, me personally, I just feel like the black community is failing as a whole, bro. We are not together at all. We're getting more and more divided, and we just killing each other. The women are getting fat, and the men are going to jail. Like, if you just look at the music we consume, the media we watch, we drink a lot of Hennessy, smoke a lot of weed, a lot of guns, a lot of violence. And there's always so many single parent households. And black men are not the only ones to be blamed. It's just the whole black community is failing, bro.
What would you rate yourself from 1 to 10?
7.
What would you rate him? 1 to 10?
Just on looks?
Yeah.
Probably a 4.
Damn, that was an honest rating right there.
Okay. So, what would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
Oh, like, definitely like a 3.
What would you rate that girl 1 to 10?
2.
I would give her a 5.
What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
10.
What would you rate him 1 to 10?
Like a 6.
What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
Like a 0.
What would you rate her 1 to 10?
How you gonna rate somebody a 0? Do you guys not understand scales, bro? 5 is average, but I guess no one knows that.
What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
7.
What would you rate him 1 to 10?
0.
Oh. What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
Like a 6.
What would you rate her 1 to 10?
I'll give her a 6.
What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
I would say a 7.
So, what would you rate him 1 to 10?
A 7.
What would you rate yourself 1 to 10?
1 to 10, I'll probably rate myself a 7.5.
What do you rate her 1 to 10?
A 7.
What do you rate yourself 1 to 10?
A 9.
Okay, what do you rate him 1 to 10?
Probably like a 5.
What do you rate yourself 1 to 10?
7?
What would you rate her from 1 to 10?
7.
What would you rate him 1 to 10?
A 5.
What would you rate yourself from 1 to 10?
Oh yeah, I want to set this right though. 5 is average. 6 is a little bit above average. 7, shit, you nice. 8, damn, you're really good looking. Like shit, you a model. 9, you out of this world. 10, I personally believe a 10 doesn't exist, bro. A 10 is like an angel or some shit. I don't believe anyone's a 10. I feel like if you think someone is a 10, it has to be tied with some type of emotion. You have to be in love with that person. You have to be taken away by that person. 2 is damn near deformed. 1, like that's crazy. And out of 1, you damn near a monster at that point. What are you, like a werewolf? Like a vampire?
This is the story of how I ended up getting herpes.
So when I was scrolling through a TikTok, I came across this clip of this woman explaining how she got herpes. And all I gotta say is that she has no one but herself to blame. But take a look.
So I was seeing a guy for a short while before he told me that he had herpes. We'd had this conversation and he had initially lied to me and insisted that he was clean. One night he has a drunken meltdown and he tells me that it's herpes. I freak out, don't sleep with him that night, leave, make a doctor's appointment, go to my doctor. She agrees to test me, even though that's not routinely done. I didn't have any symptoms. She took a lot of time to assure me that it really wasn't a big deal. Just to give you a little background, I'd always, up to that point, referred to herpes as the plague, and that people that had it were untouchable. So I was a bit shocked when my doctor was not that concerned. Then I told a couple of other doctors that I knew, and they also were not that concerned, even though they were sleeping with me. Well, my blood test result came back and it was negative, and then I felt kind of bad and I kind of liked this guy, and I thought maybe I had judged him a little too harshly and maybe I should give him more of a chance, especially after the meltdown that he had. I kind of felt terrible. We're together for 1.5 years, not always careful. I routinely get blood tested. They all come back negative. He has one outbreak during our 1.5 year relationship. And during that time, we just didn't sleep together. After 1.5 years, I break up with them. I get a blood test again and it's negative. And there are times I wish the story ended there, but on the other hand, you wouldn't be getting these videos right now had I just never seen him again. But a couple months later, we're talking again and he's really, really insistent. I'm just wanting to get together, just to talk one night. So I agree. And we end up doing a little bit more than talking. 2 weeks later, I have what appears to look like a pimple that's not going away, so I get it tested. And sure enough, the swab comes back positive. I'm not gonna lie, there's always gonna be a part of me that believes he chose that particular night because he wanted to infect me with the hopes of me staying with him after I got infected. Because that did work. And I stayed with him for months after that because I had still associated herpes with being an untouchable. And I really fear that a lot of people feel that way and stay in toxic relationships because they don't think they can never get love anywhere else. I'm here to tell you that's just not true. And also to tell you that the stigma is much, much worse than the actual virus. COVID is much worse than herpes, and I will die on that hill. If you don't agree with me, please show me the evidence.
Okay, what she said at the end is some bullshit. Like, COVID doesn't last your whole life. Herpes does. She really has no one else to blame but herself. She slept with him unprotected. Like, why would you do that? And I love how she tried to play the victim at the end. And her whole TikTok page is just about her having herpes. Like, she really embraced this shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I give her some props. And alright, Shalyn, that is all I have for this video. I'll see you on the next one.